I would like to, let you know a couple of things ahead of time, just as, order of business. Number one, we have 16 applications in front of us tonight. There will be no discussion of merit. All we will be discussing tonight is whether to forward these for step 2 consideration, meaning you have to do all the paperwork and have it back by December 5th. Am I correct, Mr. Reynolds? Is that it? There will not be comments from the public unless the chair deems it necessary, unless we have specific questions on specific applications. We have everybody here except Mr. Geiler, who's excused. Correct? Are we missing any other of the units? No. Okay, minutes of October 14th. I have, motion to approve.
So move.
Second. Any corrections, additions, or deletions, Pat? No. All those in favor, raise your hand, signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay. Team, you know what order we're going in. We're gonna start off, the first application is from the town of Great Barrington, the planning department, for Old Maids Park Design and Engineering. The amount is $50,000. It is determined as eligible. Mr. Rembold or Mr. Aberdale, do you have anything that you'd like to add to the application?
Well, I'd be happy to speak to this. You ready?
Yeah.
Thinking this is similar to how we began the Lake Mansfield projects many years ago. Was we started with CPA funds to pay for baseline surveys of the area, where the right of way was, where the property was, where the wetlands were. And that's what we'd like to do with this request. Towards eventually, depending on what the community decides, through the involvement process over the next year, what improvements might be necessary or desired. Assuming we need to go through Conservation Commission for wetlands permitting or any other, will be detailed elevation surveys and all those sorts of things. We applied for an MVP grant this past year, and we got most of the funding, but it's funding just the community outreach work, which will happen over the next 6 to 12 months. It didn't fund the engineering side of things, which obviously was necessary as the next step. So we're looking for CPA to fund that engineering and design phase.
Any questions, concerns, or issues from the committee in reference to this application? Well, that's why I said, are there any questions? Not just, put your hand up and say yes.
Okay.
Really.
What does that pumping look like?
What?
When I looked at it on the map, I couldn't tell what it includes.
What it looks like,
Yeah, what how big the parcel is.
it includes I mean, it's not,
Go out and check it out.
It includes the pond and
it includes the river, it includes the other side of the river.
it's a river.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, I would like to, on step 1, it's not that I would do this step 2, but I would take a motion on this at this point to consider to go on step 2. Does anybody have a problem with that?
So moved. So it doesn't.
Evidently not. All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. It's unanimous. Okay. The second project has been determined that it is ineligible because it is outdoor. I mean, it's indoor. Okay,
There's a peculiar aspect of the CPA that it will fund outdoor recreation, but nothing indoor, unfortunately.
What's the project?
The basketball hoops.
the basketball hoops,
Sorry.
And who's it?
and who's the town?
Yeah, the legislation states outdoor, right?
Well, this is outdoor. Oh, no, this is the indoor. No, this is the inside basketball court at the Uzi Dome.
So unfortunately, it's
That does not qualify based on CPA. Okay,
Well, same with the bleachers.
funny you should mention that. Yeah, number three, the
So-
bleachers, again, they don't
It'd
either.
be great if we formalized. this.
Okay, so let's do on step two, let's do step one, on the town basketball hoops. The motion, I'll make the, no, somebody makes the motion,
Community center.
right,
Yeah.
that we do not consider.
So,
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Great. I
And
need the
that's-
next one.
They got the legislature that says it has to be outdoors.
Yes. I need one for number three, which is the bleachers inside the gazebo.
I'll make a motion that we vote no on the Stonic Community Center bleacher replacement simply because it is an indoor structure.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Great. Number four,
So this is why we do a second.
Yes.
Right.
Making you fill out a huge stuff too.
step four. No, not step four. You said person. Housatonic playground improvement. Okay. Mr. Aberdale, would you like to, give us some details on that, please?
So basically, the Parks Commission has had many conversations about this, improving the playground, basically the basketball court. Aligning the court, straightening the hoops up, possibly squaring off the playing surface. And we would like to, propose painting it up to be a multi-purpose surface.
Questions, concerns, issues?
Outdoors.
Outdoors?
Motion to move to step two.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next, Olympian Meadows, fence replacement. It is eligible. Mr. Aberdale, would you like to speak to that, please?
We have 3 punched fields down at that location. The minor league field, which is in the middle of the 3, has quite deteriorated rust. Needed replacement or repair in some areas. The backstop is still fine. So we're looking for, you consider for funding to replace that vessel.
Questions, concerns, issues?
This doesn't count as me, this one,
I think it's proposed to replace, not to just
just fix it.
fix it or patch it. This is a
If
replacement.
we get to step two, we can get into the usage of it and all that stuff, but now we're just looking at, do these meet the criteria?
Well, I know, but if it's just for maintenance, then it doesn't.
It's not, maybe we're talking about replacement, please.
Motion to move to step two.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Number 6. For all us son-aversive human beings. The fabric shade sale installation at Housatonic and at skate park. Because we got no shade. I did have somebody say, well, why don't you just plant some trees? Well, it would take us 15 years to get the trees high enough to create shade. Mr. Aberdale?
So again, this request is again generated from multiple conversations at the park commission, a request from the people that use the Housatonic playground and the skate park, both highly used parks that shade is a little bit of a necessity at times at these locations. So this request would take care of the engineering, and also a PE stamp support behind it and construction of the shades.
Questions, concerns, issues in reference to shade sales? Amanda? This you think would be a good idea for the skate park, don't you?
Yes,
Why?
well, it's been a request for at least the last 5 years from park users and staff at the skate park. There's shade just along the very back of the park, but the rest of the park is full sun. And the skate park is very, very high use. Year round. I mean, we have people who go out and shovel in the winter, but obviously the shade is really needed in the summer.
Okay, thank you.
Motion to move to step two.
Can I get a second on that and then you?
Second.
Okay, yes, Pat, go ahead.
I had a question where it says shade structure over a grassed area, but the skate park is not grassed.
There is some grass there.
Well, there is grassed area up towards the ball field.
So that's where it would be, not over the skate area?
No, it wouldn't be over the skating or basketball courts or anything like that, it'd be over the grass area.
But it would shade the skate area?
No, it just provides an area of shade that people could go into.
I see,
That's
observed from.
observe from or sit or get out of the sun. And I really don't feel too bad about the skaters having to have shade over the skate. Okay, I just don't think it's whatever. Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Unanimous. Unitarian Universalist meeting of Bob Woodbury. Phil, what are you gonna do? What do you wanna do?
This is the third part of the roof project. Last year, we presented roof replacement in 3 parts, and we were funded for 2 of the 3 parts. The funding came through, and we completed that work in September. It's done in the first 2 parts, and so this is the third part. In parallel, the overall exterior restoration work that I told you about last year. In 24 and 25, the exterior restoration and painting and lead abatement and all that proceeded. So this is one piece of that puzzle that we talked about last year.
Okay, when you come back for step 2, I'm gonna wanna know where else you've gotten funds to support this on step 2, okay?
Of course.
Any other questions, concerns, or issues? Hearing none, I'll take a motion.
Motion to move to step 2. Second.
All those in favor? Aye. The WEB Du Bois Center. Hello, can you explain what you're trying to do here?
Yes, so the Du Bois Freedom Center is restoring the former Clinton A and B sign. It's on the National Register at 9 Elmcourt, behind the Berkshire Bank parking lot. And it's a multi-phase project. We've gotten 2 CPA grants in the past. Thank you. This is the third phase of restoration work or rehabilitation work, which is, we completed the last one in spring of this year. So this is the phase to deal with the long-standing water issues in the basement. And so it involves raising the building 24 inches. It involves pouring an entirely new foundation because the structural engineer determined that repairing the existing stone foundation is not sufficient for the structure, and addressing some of the related water issues. We have gone through the permitting process with the town for a zoning variance and planning board site review. And this is the last of the sort of what we originally thought would be one stabilization phase. So that ended up being broken into 3 phases. So this is the third of that. Building, the wooden structure is now stable. So lifting it up, putting in a new foundation and addressing the water issues is the goal of this phase.
Please note the comments I made to Bill about other funding, when you come back with step 2. Any other questions, concerns, or issues? Hearing none, I'll take a motion.
Motion to move to step 2.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. $1100 Main Street, Housatonic. Who's here for that?
Hi, how are you?
You wanna tell us what you're up to here?
Yeah, this is a mixed use building, will sort of be the office headquarters to Long Mills. It's built out of dolomite similar to St. James Parish or Turtles Castle. It's very soft material. It's a lot of it's cracking and deteriorating, is in need of replacement in some parts of restoration and others. So that's one aspect of it, and the window portion of it, we've looked at replacement, we've looked at restoration, and not sure what like from a historical preservation standpoint, what the best avenue to take is, but we're basically trying to approach the exterior of the building and You know, secure us going forward in time structurally and that's. For the most part, we
Who
got.
owns this building? So you're a private owner? Just you?
Correct, yeah.
Any other questions, concerns, or issues? Hearing none, I'll take a motion.
Motion to move to step two.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye. Karen, I need to ask our presenters to speak up. It's very hard to hear.
So you're gonna now, everybody shows up, these two chairs, there's special electrical outlets underneath them, so if there seems to be a problem, you may hit the eject button, okay?
Oh, definitely.
No. Oh, you silly. I'm very confused on this next project because yeah, this project, the Brown Mausoleum roof. We gave you money and now we got it back, and now you want more? Can somebody explain that to me?
Yeah. I don't know why you're confused. We talked about this, but we can go over
Well,
it.
we may have talked about it, but we have not heard of it.
So he gave us $20,000 to use towards the roof, of a $41,000 or $42,000 project. The stipulation was that we needed to determine that there were no errors in it, and the town would take ownership of the mausoleum. That process took about a year to get done. There are no errors. We have a letter from the Historic Commission stating that. And the town just doesn't have the funding to come up with the other half. So prior to this application going, the CPA money was rescinded. And now we're looking for the money to do the entire.
So you gave back 20 and you're asking for 65, right?
We're asking for it to take care of the complete roof.
Huh, interesting way of dealing. Go ahead with it, Martha.
We added something to that in the first round that said we wanted to bury other people. Or it became a town.
I recall that as part of that we wanted the Brown Mausoleum to be open for space so we could have other people join those that are in it, since we couldn't find any heirs anyway.
So we can discuss this now.
No, but I just put that out there.
nothing to do with step one to step two.
No, it doesn't, but I just thought we'd prepare you.
It is eligible, yeah.
So
Yeah, it's eligible.
Motion.
It's definitely eligible. Go ahead.
I wondered how strong this estimate is. It's an awfully small roof.
It's a slate roof also.
I know that.
That'll do it.
The quote previously was like $41,000 or $42,000. So it's been 2.5 years now, so it's gonna be up.
Patient.
The 20,000 from CPA wasn't the only money at the time, there was 20,000 from the capital fund, so that project a couple years ago was 40.
Mhm.
Okay.
Make a motion to move it to step 2.
Second. I have a question.
I'm gonna get there, Jeremy. I'd like to get the motion on the floor so I don't forget it. Your question is?
So can I just be reminded again about, like funds with the cemetery, plural?
So the
Because we had a
cemetery,
discussion about it.
the cemetery basically has two pots of money. Perpetual care and lot sales. So every time, a plot is sold, a certain portion of money goes to perpetual care, a certain portion of money goes to lot sales. The principle of perpetual care cannot be used. The interest of perpetual care could be used with town meeting vote, which is literally $1,000 to $2,000 a year. So then the lot sales can be used, it has been used. Especially this year's current budget to purchase a truck and maybe a piece of equipment and even fund part of the operating budget. So the cemetery commission has posed a question. We basically maintain the cemetery with town operating funds. Why do we need perpetual care? So when Mark was here, it was presented to Mark to find that answer out from town council, but there were other pressing matters for town council, so this didn't get answered. So in the near future, we intend to ask those questions again.
And what is that account? You know,
What is what?
so that's an account, right?
It is.
And do we know the number?
I wanna say it's $275,000 perpetual care account, which I think, again, Brad was here, he can speak to it too. I think the plan would be, if council says it can be done, was that have town meeting closed perpetual care and put it in the process.
Mr. Atwood, do you have anything you'd like to add to that?
Yes, I would. The 272,000 is invested at 0.0097.
Really?
That's
not great.
So that's
Wow.
such a small amount. Since 2020, we've lost basically $45,000 in purchasing value. I'd like to have it go into the lot sales so that we could access the money. We have some projects that we could do, we wouldn't be here. And now back, one other thing I'd like to add, on the Mahawi Cemetery. The Mahawi Cemetery, the only part that was originally ever public was the front part where the older stones are on top of the hill. That was the original Episcopal burying grounds. Everything and then to fast forward in the middle 1800s, Colonel Brown came to this area, would like to have his own cemetery. So he made arrangements with the Episcopal Church to take over that part, and then added the property that's on there now, and it had an architect design. At that time, it was funded exclusively by the Mahawi Cemetery. In the middle of World War II, it went broke. And nothing ever happened to it, and the town took it over around 1960. They started putting some money in. So any perpetual care or anything that was put into that property is gone. Now, I don't see a reason why the people that are in Great Barrington, that have put money in the other cemeteries for all these years, have to pick up where those people let go. So I would, like to see that we get into that perpetual care or lot fund, or you people to help us, repair the items there.
How does one get the money from one lot into another lot? How's that gonna happen? Who's gonna make that choice?
Well, professional care to box.
Yes,
Town meeting?
and who's gonna bring that up? Cemetery group gonna bring that up?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
If town council, usually.
Oh, it's always nice to know we have a legal team all over this. Okay.
All right, so
Just as a matter of point, when you're considering funds too, is, we have multiple cemeteries in town, some of them have room in it, some of them have, like, the Housatonic Cemetery is running out of room. There will be land to be purchased in the not too distant future.
They're dying to
So
get in.
it's important to probably maintain the health of lots.
Mr. Aberdale and Mr. Atwood, thank you for that explanation.
In the Housatonic Cemetery, we intend, because of certain parts of that cemetery have all the roads in, we intend to remove those roads and resell those into lots. Because all the plots on both sides of the roads have been filled. So we were going to start in the middle of a couple of roads, take them out and use those for.
What a great idea.
We're trying to save the town money, and then there's maybe some property available there. Most of the other cemeteries, we have plenty of room to bury people, but not in Housatonic. We run about 1,800 spots we have in Great Barrington. We really-
Okay, thank you. That's very, very helpful.
where were we?
I have no idea. Was there a motion? All right, so let's vote on the Brown Mausoleum roof, shall we? All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Not a problem. Number 11, the Elmwood Cemetery Monuments, not eligible unless the Historic Commission votes. And they won't be able to do it by the time we meet for end of,
They could call on me. To vote on this.
yeah, but it's not there now. It's not there. now. It's not legit now.
We
Yeah.
could make a provision and move it to step two if we get the historic commission
Contingent,
document.
Yeah.
does that pass?
Yeah.
Can we make a conditional acceptance to step two with, based on
Yes,
historical
we
commission?
have in the past.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So again, the trick here is that it's for historic preservation, it's gotta be on the state or national register or voted by the local historical commission. The the cemetery is not. The Hayward Cemetery, Brown Mausoleum was, this one is not. Currently, it's not.
Miss Sharp.
I question whether this is maintenance. I mean, it's talking about things that have fallen over and restoring them to standing up. That sounds like maintenance to me.
I would tend to agree.
Krista, do you know what other towns have done? Because I know other towns have used CPA funds for this.
They have, and there are some articles on the Community Preservation Coalition website about using funds to preserve historic burial grounds. I'm not sure specifically what they've done with that. We could read up on it or encourage the applicant to read up on it and show them.
So to make the case. that-
Yeah, that it is in fact, above board and eligible.
That's a good idea.
Well, the other thing that's interesting, town of GB has 5 cents. We're gonna make this a recurring request for the next 5 years. $300,000 to reset stones. Just so we're clear.
It's interesting, you know, you can think of these as historic structures, that's one thing. They're also kind of open spaces, which I think is why different categories were checked.
Maybe on the
They
other.
are open space, people walk and see.
And I know I walked through Housatonic Cemetery a number of years ago and saw a number of stones from, I don't remember if it was the 1800s, but veterans, et cetera, that had fallen over and were in disrepair. And I think it's the town's responsibility to try to do something, especially to those types of stones.
Well, Elmwood, I'm walking through there, I'm amazed how many have fallen
Yeah.
over.
So I would make a motion to move to step 2
Yeah.
if the historic commission votes.
Second.
Okay.
Second,
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I'm opposed. Okay.
Well, with this, we'll see in the step 2 application if they're.
Well, they're gonna have to send the Malcolm Fick letter, which you know what's gonna happen. She's gonna waddle all the way home and say, Malcolm, you better bring this. There needs, yeah, they have to have a meeting and vote on it, yeah, okay.
Not going anywhere.
Mason Library painting, exterior,
Did we skip one?
No.
no, Elmwood Cemetery Monument.
Okay, yeah, it's good. I have mine.
The question is, on that, isn't this maintenance to paint the building?
That's Chris.
Maintenance of a historic building.
Case. That's step 2.
Are they doing work on the Widow's Walk?
I'm sorry?
Are they doing work on the Widow's Walk on the top there? Just
Anything
making it-
that is white would be painted to some extent, painted or some of the stone will be filled.
Wait, the cupola and the Widow's Walk that just needs paint or more?
I'm sorry?
The Widow's Walk and the cupola needs just paint?
Well, I think there might be some, well, they have plenty of fillers and stuff. We just did the courthouse the same way. And there wasn't, although they have techniques when they're painting, how they patch that with plastic resins.
And what's the status of